Looking forward into 2016, we are looking forward to an extraordinarily busy year. Why? Simple. 2015 was definitely in our 11-year history has been the busiest year. Typically, in a given year, in the past, we have submitted tenders for 3 big new projects. In 2015, we ended up submitting bids for 11 new projects. Okay, so it's a sort of nearly 4 times our activity of the past. And these are not small things, they are all very large. Now, these projects are all now, many of them we have actually won. Our win rate is, we win 2 projects out of 3 typically. So, and maybe in 2015, in fact, we have probably even exceeded that average with this larger number of projects. So as we go into 2016, all these projects will now, many of them are already in financing. Financing will get completed, they will go into construction. And then of course 2016, I also see a pipeline of another dozen projects to bid. So we're growing very fast. Part of it is a reflection of the fact that we are now operating in 13 countries. So a lot of countries, it's not just one. We're very much in the right place, doing the right time, doing the right thing. Electricity and water demand continues to grow. You expressed a bit of so it's going to be a very busy 2016, just as it was in 2015 or is in 2015. You expressed a bit of a surprise about the so-called clean coal project in Dubai. Well, first of all, as we have sort of Dubai, it's in Dubai. So first of all, as we have said from the outset, our mission is to reliably deliver electricity and desalinated water at the lowest possible price on long-term contracts to creditworthy customers. So we are technology agnostic, fuel neutral. We don't tell our customers what to do. We only respond to their needs, their requests. So they are the ones who make choices, by and large, make choices with regard to fuel. So we respond to the fuel needs, okay. Over the last few years, we have seen, we've entered the African market in certain countries in Africa, where coal is used much more. So we have already been involved in coal-fired power projects. We have a coal-fired plant in Mozambique that's in financing, construction has started under LNTP. In South Africa, we have submitted a coal-fired tender. In Botswana, we are pursuing coal-fired power plant projects. So we are already involved in coal. For me, okay, fine, COP21 coming, all the rest of it, there's a lot of attention around coal. Well, the fact of the matter is coal is going to remain as a fuel. There are certain countries around the world where you really don't have too many other choices for that baseload power. So, I think our discussion, world's attention as far as coal is concerned, needs to go in how to minimize the environmental impact, and over time, how to keep working at how to eliminate that environmental impact. And I think, just as we have shown in renewable energy, who on earth could have ever predicted how photovoltaic energy power prices would have come down to the level that they have, and how deployment would take over so fast to the extent where we've got 400,000 megawatts of photovoltaic installed around the world. Nobody could have predicted that a decade ago. So there is no point in sitting here and saying, carbon sequestration from coal-fired power plant emissions is just never going to work. Nonsense. I think we need to put a lot of effort. We need to continue to focus on how we manage that carbon and what we do with that carbon. That doesn't mean go forward and keep building coal-fired power plants as fast as you can. Coming to the Dubai project, well, yes, it is a bit of a surprise. It could be a bit of a surprise. I'm sure it is a bit of a surprise to the world that in the middle of this sort of oil and gas land, coal power is being introduced. Well, coal is being introduced, as DEWA has repeatedly explained, to give a bit of fuel diversity. I think it's very important not to put all your eggs in one basket, is to keep it a little bit spread. So they're not exploding. They're not saying, oh, we're going to do 50% of our base load in coal. All they're saying is, as we look forward, we think it's sensible to have 7.5% of our generation for the moment in coal-fired power plants. But what they have done is this, it is called a clean coal power plant. Okay, it's a bit of a misnomer. I think it's generally known coal is dirty, so to speak. Yes, you are going to get environmental emissions that need to be managed. But this particular plant has the toughest environmental emission cleanup requirements of any coal-fired power plant specified to date in the world. What DEWA did, they took some of the toughest environmental restrictions, emission cleanup requirements from multiple sources, took all the toughest elements and put it all together into a new standard. And that's the standard to which we are required to comply. So consequently, we are ending up with an ultra supercritical coal-fired power plant, so that to start with is going to be very, very efficient. Efficiency is very important, not just because it sort of reduces cost and utilizes the resource more efficiently, but also if we are 44% efficient, that means, all that simply means is that 56%, the balance 56% is going to then get emitted as particulates and nasty gases, okay, and carbon. So the more efficiency, the less emissions. So already the emissions are getting controlled that way. And then the emissions themselves, we are required to install the best available technology, electrostatic precipitators, flue gas desulfurization, in order to really clean it up, in order to minimize. And because it's in Dubai, with the Expo, with the fact that it's in a city, visually also it's going to be least intrusive. So, you know, so it'll become a model plant in our view. So we're very excited about that project. But of course, I'm even more excited about the fact that our concentrated solar power plant in Morocco will come online before the end of this year. So we will be starting to produce green electricity from the deserts of Morocco, fairly significant amount of green electricity at that. That will also be dispatched even through the night because we have molten salt storage. And the South African project, Bokport, will also come online before the end of this year. So these are, big, very visible renewable energy projects showing the world what can be done, all at shockingly low costs. Not quite low enough in the case of concentrated solar power. I think we need to continue to reduce that cost, but still showing the way of CSP becoming a meaningful contributor to the energy mix. So it's an exciting period for us. We continue to grow, and we continue to do new things, interesting things, and hopefully do our bit in contributing to economic development of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and the world. Thank you.